Hey, I'm Christy Friesen, and I just had a thought about creativity, and I thought I'd share it with you. And that thought specifically is about workshops and tutorials. In other words, where does creating a project that somebody else has thought up come into the journey of creativity for you personally? Now, you may think because I sell an awful lot of tutorials that I might be a bit biased in what I have to say, and you would be absolutely correct, because obviously I would love for you to buy my tutorials. That gives me the kind of lifestyle of a constant diet of papayas and chocolate that I've come to love and appreciate. But I honestly do believe what I'm about to tell you, and that is part of the journey of becoming a more imaginative and creative person involves copying. Now, wait. Before you get all angry at me and tell me that copying is wrong, let me qualify that. In our journey to become better, more creative people, one of the tools at our disposal is finding artwork that we enjoy, that someone else has created, and trying to copy, emulate, be inspired by what they did in order to understand ourselves how to repeat that process in our own way. So copying has a point, doesn't it? Now, I no longer copy and make Garfield or mushrooms out of salt dough, but when I was younger, that did play a part in the kind of creative life that has led to me being able to do my own things now. I needed to see how other people made it before I can kind of deconstruct it and turn it into my own version. Now, some people stay on that part of the journey for a very long time. They tend to do the projects, the workshops, copy what they see, and that's okay. You just have to remember that that's what you're doing, that you have a part of that creative process, but the person creating the original has also a lot to do with it. So make sure you're doing it nicely. You give those shouts out. You understand the part that someone else plays in that role, but don't shy away from buying a tutorial or taking a workshop, because ultimately you gain a lot from that. As you're creating, let's say you bought one of my workshops, the bling squid, for example, and you thought, oh, I think I'd like to make that little squid with crystals all over them because I have this friend who loves tentacles and crystals. It'll be great. So you make it and it's fun. And then what? Now you have a squid with crystals on it, which is terrific. You might make 7 of those or 1,000 or none. But at the end of that experience, what else do you have? You have some knowledge you didn't have before. You understand how crystals could be incorporated into a sculptural material. I use polymer, and that's the material, that and epoxy clay, that I use a lot. So my tutorials are often using those materials. And if you like those materials as well, you go, ooh, I can use crystals in this way. I can incorporate powders like this. I can see an image and translate it into my own version, i.e. a cuttlefish, squid, in this way. So you're actually gleaning an awful lot by following the project. And you do get that satisfaction at the end of the day of having something that is what you intended when you started out. So it's kind of a win-win all around. Now, what you do from there is you just keep exploring. Most of us do not have enough time to explore fully, and exploration is what pushes creativity forward. So you just do the best you can. You get a tutorial you like, or a technique, or something you've seen on Pinterest or whatever, and you kind of copy and emulate that, and you enjoy the finished process, but little by little, you add your own twists. Maybe the bling cuttlefish starts wearing a top hat, and it morphs into steampunk, and then it becomes a lamp, and then before you know it, it's an entirely different thing altogether, depending on where your journey takes you. So, to wrap up, just this little creative concept I wanted to throw at you is, don't be afraid of copying, just understand what place it takes in your creative life, but enjoy it, and go buy as many of my tutorials as you can. I and my need for chocolate thank you. Happy creating. Hey, if you like this video, why not give a little shout out, a like, or something in the comments here below in YouTube? Or you can also go visit my website and load up on some tutorials and other fun things. Creativity is awesome. I hope you have a wonderful creative day.